Hello everyone. Give me a sec. Let me share my screen. Okay, since it's already time, we're going to start the session now. Hello everyone and welcome to the VMUG conference. I'll not be able to answer questions during the webinar because I might not be able to see the chat while I'm presenting. So I'll try to answer them at the end of the session. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see my screen. Um, so today's session is about building Copilot Studio agents. Um, we'll talk about building a couple of Copilot agents, and we'll see like what it basically a Copilot Studio agent, what does it contain inside any agent? So what are the different type of agents are available and how you can build a task-based or autonomous agent in our session. So let's move on to the next slide. So Copilot Studio is a Microsoft low-code platform where you can build agents based on I mean, a developer or a regular user can actually build the agents, and it is grounded in your enterprise data. So, you are going to actually use your own knowledge base or your own SharePoint library uh, to, create the agents. So Copilot Student is a low-code platform for building agents. It lets you create conversation agents that ground in your enterprise data, like SharePoint, your documents, websites, your database, and take the actions across the systems like ServiceNow, Jira, Teams, and basically business users and developers both can build it with no heavy coding required. That's a good thing about the Copilot agent. You don't need to learn any coding to build it, but there is Power Automate where you have to build a little bit of flow for creating any task-based agents. Um, so we will be talking about a few agents which will be useful where um, a knowledge-based agent where it will help the end users with their problems. Basically, when a user calls, it will answer with basic questions for any IT related issues. And in case it is not able to resolve the issue, it is going to open a ticket. And If time permits, we'll also look at another agent where um, the same agent will collect the weekly reports from the team members, and it actually stores in a SharePoint list where you can always pull it by end of the year and see what you have done for the whole year, or maybe your manager can pull the reports from your, from the agent and see the entire year's report, right? So um, let's go to the next slide. So So basically, you can use a natural language and build an agent with Copilot Studio. and a visual editor, which is like Power Automate. You can use a visual editor with as like a Power Automate, which you can build the flow with visual editor and uh, create specific tasks for your agent using Power Automate. So that's how these agents work, and you can deploy the agents on multiple channels. Like you can deploy it on Teams, you can deploy it on web, where basically you have your Copilot web, Copilot Lite, where you can also add this agent and people can interact with this agent. Um, you can also deploy it to SharePoint and telephony as well. Like, I mean, you can also deploy it as an IVR agent where people can talk to it and it can answer the questions. And any Copilot Studio agent contains like language models like Claude and GPT, and the knowledge sources are basically the one from your company or your team's data, where you can attach the SharePoint websites or document libraries. And The agent contains topics, tools, and triggers. Basically, the topic is something that you want the agent to work on um, based on a specific topic. Like submitting a weekly report is a topic you want to create, and you will define the topic and you create the flows inside that, and it will use that flow to um, complete your task. Triggers are nothing but the trigger point. Like, I want to submit my weekly report, right? So you will mention the trigger when building the topic. So based on that specific phrase, it will actually um, um, activate that specific topic, and it will um, run through that flow. So we'll see that in our future slides. Next. Yeah, this is what I was actually talking about. The agents we are building, which can answer the calls, troubleshoots it, and opens a ticket in case it is not able to help with the knowledge source that is provided. And yeah, so something like that. And it can also um, it can also collect the weekly reports from the team by end of every Friday. So what kind of agents we can build? So prompt-based agents, prompt-based agent is basically you're giving the knowledge source, and user is asking question based on generative AI. It will look all the documents. If it finds the answer, it will actually respond from the knowledge source that is provided. Um, and the knowledge is grounded. Knowledge source is grounded, which means like it is not going to internet, or it is actually utilizing your own data source, which your document library. A task focused agent is where you also want it to suppose create a ticket when something is not available in the knowledge source. So we are defining a task where it can open a ticket in case something is not found in the knowledge source and it is not able to answer. And the autonomous agent is the one where it can run on a schedule or it can run on an event, where like you are receiving certain email and you want the agent to act based on the email. So you can build the flow and it will actually um, run the flow and complete your task. So you can build different type of agents. So four ways to build the Copilot agent in Copilot Studio. So declarative, I have told you, like with your internal documentation. Custom agents with topics. Topics is something that you want the agent to perform based on your requirement. You'll create the topic and you'll create the trigger points and it will run through the flow. Autonomous agent is again event triggered, and agent flows is I mean another agent is calling your agent, or you're calling another agent. So you can interact with another agent using your agent. You can define that as well. So there are different ways to do that. So what does a Copilot Studio agent contain? So every agent contains topics and instructions. Topics I'll show you later, and instructions like how the agent is going to behave. And knowledge is your SharePoint library, or your Word or PDF documents that you want the agent to answer from. Um, Tools and actions is where you're going to add the Power Automate flow, or any other tool, like in there are different, like a ServiceNow connector, or like you want to connect the Entra connector and perform a certain task for within Entra, or maybe any. I mean, there are different kind of connectors available, so you can use them as a tool, and you can perform specific tasks with those tools. Triggers is again same thing, like where how you want the agent to trigger a specific task. So that's what you will do using triggers. So this is like policy and fact FAQ agent, which I'm going to show you now. So here, like basically, you're going to create an agent, blank agent, add the knowledge source, configure your answers, I mean, which is your data, documentation, test, and publish. That's the overall process for building this agent. So let me show you. So to go to Copilot Studio, you'll type this URL like copilotstudio.microsoft.com. You'll be landed in the default environment. You'll come here, go to agents. Basically, I need to change the environment. So if you want to create an agent, you can create, go here under agents, and here you can see create a blank agent, or you can also use the templates that are available here. Start with an agent template, or like suppose you want to build a basic Q&A agent. Click here, create a Q&A agent. Just click on create a blank agent and do Q&A agent, and click on create. It's going to take a little bit of time, so it's pretty easy to um, create the agent. I mean, let me. So I have some instructions like how this agent is going to behave for that. So I have already written some instructions for this. So under instructions, I want to tell it like how it is going to behave. So I'm writing the instructions here. So this will be the behavior of the agent. Like it will say like we are saying like only answer based on the knowledge documents available. Do not speculate the answers. Use the markdown formatting. Um, no HTML output, and some of the formatting rules so that the text looks good when the output is generated. Um, you can update the icon here, which we click here. If you click on edit here and change icon, you can change the icon. Um, and you can mention description doesn't matter. You can mention anything, but this is for end users to see what this agent does. So yeah, so I'm just saying company FAQ agent, and these are some basic things that I'm giving you, giving the agent to, I mean, how the agent is going to behave. So you have like knowledge, you can add the knowledge here, um, where you can add either your SharePoint website, your any public website, you can add SharePoint website, you can upload files from your OneDrive or you can also upload from your OneDrive. So basically, I want to upload files from this one. Um, download files. Yeah, I mean, it is going to definitely take some time to upload some, and I'm just adding these. So these are some documents related to VPN troubleshooting, password related issues, or email, Outlook, hardware troubleshooting, those kind of stuff. So, okay. It is actually uploading it. But anyways, I have the similar agent built already, so we don't have to wait for this to upload all the files. Let's go back to agents again, and this is the same thing that I built. So I'm just discarding the changes for that. And so yeah, as you can see, I have uploaded the same documents here. Users comes here, so based on this knowledge source, it is going to answer. I'm saying, how do I reset my password? So it is actually searching the sources. You can see it here, and the information that it is getting it from the knowledge library that we have provided, and it will also give you the citation, like which particular file it is actually reading. Um, so, or maybe my laptop is not working. So laptop troubleshooting it. So anything that you have mentioned in that documentation, it is going to respond based on that, and it will also format. So basically, um, it is you can also use it for you can also build these agents where you have your own Teams SharePoint library, and for any specific process, you don't know which particular document to search. But if you attach your SharePoint library here, you can actually, you don't have to juggle through finding documents. You can simply attach the knowledge source here, and it is going to get you the information from your entire SharePoint library. You don't even have to know like which document has the I mean, like, for example, for my team, I want to know like which are the Active Directory VIP addresses, and what are the VIP, I mean F5 VIP addresses, or maybe I want to understand the process of requesting access to a specific process like Qualys or something. So if I have that documented in my SharePoint library, I just attach the link here. It will answer me based on documentation. I mean, it can be for end users, it can also be useful for your team where you want to, mm, you don't want people to go through the entire SharePoint list. And a lot of times we keep updating the documents in SharePoint. Nobody goes and reads them because since you have updated a document, maybe other person knows it, but they don't know that document exists when actually they actually need it. So you can actually build something like this and use it for your team, and they can actually utilize this agent. So this is one of the agent, and uh, next we are going to see the like. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. So we have the knowledge base attached already. So now what is the next one? If suppose the agent doesn't find the um, information in the knowledge base, it has to create a ticket in ServiceNow, right? So I don't have ServiceNow um, um, connected to my agent, but I'm going to use a Zoho Desk. So in the scenario, employee reports their laptop won't connect. Agent diagnoses first, walk through common fixes, and then if issue still persists, it is going to create a ticket. It is going to give the ticket number to the user that yeah, it is created. So how the agent works, employee questions. Now it searches to the knowledge base article through troubleshooting, and if it doesn't find it, it we have created a custom topic where it will actually trigger the troubleshooting flow and create a ticket. It could be a Jira, a service desk, or Zendesk, whichever tool you want to connect, you can actually do that. Um, so basically, yeah, these are the steps. Build a topic, attach knowledge base, add the action, and pass variables, test and publish. So let's go to that. Um, so I was telling about publishing the agent. Um, my license is limited, so I don't get multiple options here, but it will give you an option to publish into SharePoint or Teams or multiple channels once you click here, once your agent is built. Let's go to the IT support agent, which is going to open ticket. So it has all the same documents, all the same knowledge base, but in addition to that, it also has a capability to create a ticket. So how we can accomplish that? Like you have seen that we have added a knowledge base here, but if you want to specifically create a ticket, you have to create a topic. So these are called topics. Based on these topics, the agent responds to you. Suppose you're saying thank you, it is going to respond based on whatever is available in this topic, right? So if you say thank you, it's going to say you're welcome, right? So like any specific greeting. So these are all the topics based on what user is typing, it is going to respond back. So this particular topic that we created is actually going to ask user. So the trigger is user is saying open a ticket, create a ticket, submit a ticket. These are the trigger points. Like I was talking about when you create a topic, these will be the trigger points. Escalate this, still not working, that didn't fix. Maybe whatever it comes into mind, like people can say you'll just mention here. These trigger points will trigger this particular flow. And then once this flow is triggered, it is going to ask like about the issue. It is going to collect the information, save it into a variable. So this is a variable. So which it is going to use in the later point of this particular flow and use that to create a ticket. So it is actually collecting the information into this particular variable. Um, and here we are giving multiple choice options here about the priority, and these options we can do manually. Like if you click new option here, medium, high, you can also add critical. I mean, based on like whatever you want to add, you can actually add. So these are the options user is going to get when they are going to um, when once they describe the issue. So priority will be asked, and once yeah, and then this is a condition where actually it is going to run this flow. I'm going to delete this. I think I messed it up. Yeah, so adding that messed up this flow. So I didn't add it. So after that, this is the flow that we have created. So this is a Power Automate flow, and it is collecting all. These are the inputs it is taking, and this is the output it is going to give. So the inputs it is going to collect user email based on whoever logs in. The display name, everything comes automatically when user logs in, and the issue description and priority will be picked up from the user's responses. So which are like variables that we have mentioned here, like topic issue description and the topic priority. These are the two variables that we have added here, and it is going to collect that and then run this flow, and output will be added here. So how, I mean, all these flows you can add it from here. Like you have different options here, like you can send a message, you can ask a question to the user, and inside that you can actually set a variable and topic management. You can go to another another topic inside this, or maybe end the current topic, add a tool. I was talking about the tools. So the tools which I was talking about are these Power Automate flows, or you can add other stuff, a new prompt or whatever. Like these are the options you have. You can add another agent that I was talking about in my previous slide, and advanced. You can actually do other stuff, like you can authenticate or does do different things. And this is how your topic is created. Um, s- so whenever you're creating these, one sec, uh, to- sorry. uh, So you will create it under a solution, so that you'll go to make.powerapps.com and go to solutions. And here you're going to create that particular folder for your agent. So the Zoho desk is what I've created, the solution name. And inside the solution, you have all your objects that like your agent, your Power Automate flow and everything. So these are the documents I uploaded. Everything is under this. So inside these solutions, the cloud flow that I've created, Power Automate flow, this is this one. So you can create a new Power Automate flow here, automation and cloud flow, and this is how you'll create Power Automate flow, instant, automated, scheduled, whatever. So we are going to see how this one is created. So initially, this one is collecting all the variables. Um, it is collecting, these are all the input variables. Um, let me, Yeah, I mean, these are the input variables where, like user email, username, all these things we actually defined inside our topic, but actually initially the variables which I've showed you, these are the variables that it is collecting, like the name, subject, description, all this priority, all that stuff. It actually need these to um, to further process the task, and it has a access token like a API key to connect to Zoho Desk. So it is using the access token and is parsing this token to connect to Zoho Desk with the information that is collected here, and it is actually creating the ticket inside Zoho Desk based on these variables like subject, description, department ID is kind of a tenant name for Zoho Desk for me. The priority and all those details it is actually collecting from this particular incident here and responding back to the user with the ticket ID and the URL. So this is the flow, right? So if you go back to here and say, ask this agent that my VPN does not connect. Initially, it is going to search the knowledge sources and yeah, so it gave me a couple of options and I'll say it still did not work. So what happened? So as soon as I said still did not work, it actually triggered my flow because this is one of the trigger point in my topic. And now it is actually collecting these variables, right? So now it is asking, describe your issue. My network. So I said this, and it actually collected that. And now, like we have given the options there, like we have priority, low, medium, or high. So if I say medium, that's it. So it collected this information and created a ticket for me. It gave me the link. Uh, my information is already collected by agent. It is not assigned, and the priority is medium. That's what you defined, and the ticket it has created, right? So this is how it works. So you can actually create something like this, very simple one. I know like building this flow is sometimes you might have questions. So of course I'm not a developer or anything. So I've also used another um, Copilot prompt to build these. I've asked questions like how do I build it, and basically it gives some information, some instructions. I've used those and I've actually created this topic. So that is how you're going to create it. So this is another agent, right? So now let's go to our slides again. So this is a kind of status reporter agent that I've built, but it has many three different topics where because I wanted it to submit a report and store it in SharePoint list or Dataverse. I also want the agent to give me my reports, and also I also want the my manager to be able to pull report for entire team. So there are a couple of scenarios. So basically, it will be useful by end of the year when you're submitting your PDs and you forgot what you did, or maybe some major achievement you did, but by end of the year you forgot. So this will actually pull my small things to big things, whatever you have performed over the week, every week, I mean. So this one is like, um, agent works in two different ways. If it is an employee, um, uh, he can actually submit the report into SharePoint list. You can also use Dataverse. The topic for employees can see his reports. For manager, he can see team's report, team status report, and it is definitely going to do the share identity check, and it is going to submit it based on the user who logged into the Copilot agent. So yeah, let's see. I think we don't have much time on this, but let's let's go back to agent weekly status reporter. So I don't have many instructions for this one other than the topics. So I'm just making sure the formatting is proper, minimal emojis, because it is actually acting based on the topics mostly. So yeah, you have different options here, like knowledge. You can add the knowledge base here. The tools can add different tools here. Like what I mean by tool, like the Office 365 connector, or maybe something else you want to, like you want to email someone, right? So suppose go here. So with Office 365, you have different options, like different um, queries you can do, like get calendar information or get emails, whatever. You can actually ask it to read your email. So for each connector, you have different uh, choices, and based on the task you want to perform with Outlook or Teams or Dataverse, anything. Service now you have connector. So there are different connectors here, and you can also use MCP server, your own server, or if you want to connect a third-party MCP server, you can use it here. Um, so let's go back to our topic and see the topics. So here, as you can see, as soon as I launch the agent, it is actually greeting me with these are the options that you can do with this agent, right? So what I did is, like, there is a topic called conversation start, which is system. Under system, you have different, these are the topics that are built in. So you can modify or you can add stuff to this. And I actually wanted, as soon as the um, person launches the agent, it actually tells the user that, um, greets them with the name, and then tells them to ask them, like, what do you want to do, right? So I said hi, and here you can see like user dot first name. So how do you insert that? So you can actually use this X button here. This is a variable, right? So you click here, and under system dot user, sorry, if you type user, you have all these things. So you want to greet him with the first name or display name, email, whatever. You can actually select this. As soon as you select it, user ID, suppose I said user ID, it actually added it here. So that's how you can actually use this variable. Now, I mean, the system variable, basically, you haven't created it, but it is, there are already built-in variables available, so you can use that. And that's how I created user, and gave this specific stuff, like what you want to do. And this is how the conversation starts. Um, so I don't want to change it. So I have three different topics here. So submit weekly report is one of the topic where the trigger point is submit my weekly report, all these things, and format rules also added. But um, this is also same thing. You ask a question, collect the user's entire response into a variable, and condition here is they have to submit at least three accomplished, right? At least three, otherwise it will loop back. And uh, after that, next question will come. Any blockers are there? Any dependencies? Any risk? Each thing will be stored in a variable, and um, once user submits everything, it is also going to output the response from user. So these are again the same variables I'm printing. It's a message and major accomplishment, and I'm saying I'm inserting the variable here, so it is going to print whatever user has inputted in the major accomplishments, risks, dependencies, this stuff. And once user confirms if they want to submit it or not, based on that, yes or no. If he says submit, the flow will run and update the SharePoint library. If he says no, it is actually going to say no problem, nothing was submitted. So it doesn't go to SharePoint library. And that's it. This is the first topic. And that is the flow that I've attached to it. And for manager, it's just the team report. So he's going to ask I mean, what will be the trigger point, team report, team weekly status, these things. And it's going to ask whether this week or all weeks, based on the week choice. It is going to run this flow and report that, right? And there is this one for users' own reports. Um, so it is actually collecting the email address here and running the flow and reporting the users. And it's not a very big um, topic. It just the trigger point is show my reports, my weekly reports, or my past report. That's it. It is not giving me multiple options like whether this week or all weeks. It's just going to show all the reports for the user. So yeah, these are the different topics I've created. Let's see how. I think we have only 2 minutes, but um, I'm going to say submit my weekly report. Um, so now it's asking what are the accomplishments. Um, so as soon as I said submit report, it actually triggered this particular topic, and I'm going to say none for all these because we don't have much time left. So no risks or blockers, any dependencies, none. And that's it. And do you want to submit the report? It is actually asking the questions. If I say submit, it is actually saving everything into SharePoint. And actually it did show me like what I mentioned here. And then it is asking that it's saying that I submitted it. Yeah, we have 1 more minute, I think. Probably I will not be able to show you like the flow. Um, but let me see if I can show you the SharePoint. Forgot the name. Um, okay, okay, 231. Besides weekly reports, or weekly reports. So this is the one we just submitted, and it actually uploaded into SharePoint. Probably we are running out of time, so I'll have to end the session now. But yeah, I mean, we don't have enough time to show other flows. So this is the overall um, Copilot Studio agent demo. If you guys have any questions, yeah, leave them in the comments. I will just um, answer later. I mean, yeah, probably I don't have any questions, right? Yeah, thank you everyone, and we are going to end the session now.